Hi guys, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stand. Welcome to my channel. I was going to share with you guys how to create this beautiful background with our puffy cheeks, and then I end out this car. If you haven't got a chance to watch the last video, make sure you check this out. I add a little bit white hair in front on my fox chest. I think that's really cute, just a little bit touch up. Okay, so finally today we are going to working on this puffy cheek, and then it's actually very simple. So it's going to be two part. The first part I'm going to working on the background, and the second part I'm going to use the alcohol marker to color this puffy cheek. You can use any kind of material that you like. Any material works, they are the good material. Okay, so that's started. First, we are going to have our stencil ready. So I have this maple leaves stencil ready for you to download it. And this is how I keep all my stencil just in one book. And then I can anytime when I need it, I can find it easily. Okay, so I have a few different kind of size. If you don't have a digital die cut machine, you can just use your die cut to cut it. You probably don't get the same image. This is just laminated sheets. I use a half size of laminated sheet, or you can just use a piece of paper. Okay, so I am going to use watercolor cardstock. So I have my paper here. So this is my foundation card. It's the Kansen 130 pounds watercolor cardstock, and I have already pre-stamped view of the image. This is on the Kansen watercolor cardstock because the paper itself have a little bit texture. So if you are happy with the image, that's fine. This is just 100 pounds regular cardstock. They also work well. So I kind of like to pre-stamp few, and then if you have a laser printer, you can stamp few image in the laser printer, so that way you don't have to wait until they dry. And also the color, you can use like a better ink to stamp your image so they looks better. Okay, so we are going to use our magic mushroom. I have my magic mushroom ready, and they have been moisture, and they are ready to use. Okay, and then I have a few of my impact, and then those magic mushroom, they are on the special promotion now. Buy one set of magic mushroom, 10 mushroom, 2 holding base, 10 containers, and you will get a second set of magic mushroom for free. Just pay some shipping fee. If you when you receive your order and take a look at your box, you will find out we don't make money from your shipping fee. Sometimes we actually pay more than we charge. Okay, so please understand it is some shipping fee on top, but that's a very reasonable price. Okay, so we're going to have a few of the autumn color: yellow, orange, red, a little bit green, and a little bit purple. And then I was using those magic mushroom to with the oxidized impact, and then I just realized one of them magic mushroom I didn't really clean well. So if you didn't clean well your magic mushroom, I show you what it look like. When you blend it, when you touch it, the surface is not as soft and bouncing anymore. So if you use your magic mushroom for any other pigment impact, like oxidized, make sure you clean your sponge well, because oops happened, and then like now I touch it, it's actually very rough surface. So and then I try to blending, it doesn't really blending anymore. So and no matter how many times you wash it, they won't come back to normal. Okay, so first I'm going to grab, so this is the one I die cut it with just the autumn die cut set. So I have a few, and this is the one I use that free maple leaf image, so you can download it. So I kind of pre-stamp few of them. If you want to buy the laminated sheet, go a little bit thicker. 5 mil is better than 3 mil. This is a 3 mil, is a paper thing. This is a 5 mil. They work much better. Next time when I cut it, I will probably just use a bigger sheet, because the small one, sometimes if you don't pay attention, they may be accidentally blending over your stencil. Okay, so also I keep both negative and the positive. I'm going to show you, you can use this positive part too. Actually, let's use this positive first. So there's a few. I'm going to just use two. So this is the positive part. The positive part, you can see. So it's going to kind of create a mask, and then I have at least, let me, this glare is kind of annoying. So let's do this. And then this piece of metal is actually glass whiteboard that I found from Michael's. Okay, so that one is this is a better last reflection, so you can see better. Okay, that's a little bit better here. Okay, so I have two of these positive, and I'm going to just use my magnet to hold it. And then I am going to always start with a lighter color first. Okay, and I'm going to just pick up some color. Okay, so you always kind of testing it before you apply on your car. And then I'm kind of just start from the middle, kind of just brushing out. Okay, so blending part, the most hardest part for the blending is we want to hiding that stroke, right? So kind of just like a blending. And then magic mushroom is so awesome because they can really do the blending job. So I have this one, and I'm going to start from inside out. Okay, inside out, and move your magnet a little bit. And this magnet is just hold it right there. Okay, and then if you have some extra ink, you can use your magic mushroom, kind of just remove that. Okay, and then I am going to just pick up my magnet and tweezer. Okay. Just be careful. You don't want to get any fingerprint. That's it. And then just have a good hobby. After you use it, kind of wipe off, because you next time when you want to use them, maybe they have some ink on top, right? So this is we use the positive of the die cut, and then now we are going to use the negative part. Okay, so negative part. Okay. Just be careful. I already mentioned next time when you create your own stencil, because once when you create it, you can use again, right? So make it bigger, so that way you don't have to worry about your accident, because it's hard to see. You accidentally just go over your stencil. Okay, so we're gonna do again, and this time I am going to tap. So I start with the, do one more here, light yellow. Okay, be careful here, it's almost off my border. Okay, and then I am going to use darker color, kind of add a little bit more. I think my orange is going to need a re-ink. Very dry. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit red. It's very simple. It's a fast and easy, but just be careful. You don't want to accidentally went off the border. And then just gently tap. Let them bounce like those kind of yoga ball. sitting on top, and they just gently bounce. Let me see if this time I can do it without across my border. Okay, do this. Let's see. Very, very nice, right? Okay, and then again, so this part, what you can do is I show you how you can clean, because this stencil is so thin, right? So if you rubbing, it probably accidentally, pick up your stencil. So what I would do is I just grab one of my magic mushroom and not using. Okay, pick up some water. Not too much, okay? Like this. And then I use my magic mushroom to clean my stencil. So you kind of pick up all your ink and then clean with your wet cloth. So that's how you clean your very soft stencil. And I'm sure you can use this to clean your other stencil too. But just remember, please remember, if you use any pigment impact, something dropped. If you use any pigment impact, you got to clean your magic mushroom well. Okay, so now I am going to start some other leaves, and then I am going to just go directly to the, oh, you know what? Let's have a little bit green. Okay, so using this little guy holding your car. Okay, we're going to do some green. See how easy, just one pop, pop, pop. And then that's the color. Okay, and then we can add a little bit orange. When the orange and the green blending together, they will create something like an olive green. Okay, and then we're going to use the red, just a little bit. Gentle, so that way you don't really see the border. Lisa Young, try to stay away from the border. Don't want to cross the border, and they're going to show some very, very ugly line. Okay, let's do this. Voila. Nice, right? And then it's better you clean your stencil. Okay, because on your stencil, if there is any color, when you blending it, they will blending on your paper. It's gonna look very dirty. See, again, my stencil is really clean, right? Let's do this time I'm going to do like a red and the purple. Okay, and Wan-Chen Yang, remember, don't cross the border. Let's see if today I can do it without crossing the border. Okay, put the magic mushroom back. Mushroom, not washroom. Okay, pop. Nice dark maple leaf. Finally, the winter is heading to Vancouver. It's start raining. We really need it. I'm really worried about the Halloween because this neighborhood, I don't know, do they have a lot of kids or not? I don't know how many candy I have to prepare, because if nobody show up, I'm going to end up to eat all the candies. That's not good. Okay, and pick it out. See how pretty. Okay, so this one, I am going to just use this purple or red. That's red. Okay, that's red, the wrong one. Okay, and then this time, when I tap, I'm going to just do a very, very gentle. I just want to have some light color. Where is my... It's a little bit hard to see. Okay, so this is our sponging part, if you try to use your blending brush, you probably are able to blending, but you won't be able to create the different kind of tone. Again, I just using one of my clean mushroom. Okay, so clean it, and then again kind of tapping it, because we are actually like a tapping, we are not like a brushing. So when you using like a stencil, sometimes when you brush, you kind of like a pick up your stencil, so your brushes go under your stencil, right? But this one, because our head, or not our head, our sponge is the sponge head, so that way we don't have to, we are actually kind of tapping. You want to rubbing, you can do that too. I think that's really pretty already, but I'm going to just add a little bit more green on the white spot area. You know, one of Canada's a famous, not Canada, I don't know in the East do they have or not. In the West, we have one of my favorite restaurant is called the White Spot. So, but now it's just getting so expensive. White Spot used to be much cheaper. Now one burger at a White Spot is like $25 Canadian. A burger, $25. It's like another like a fancy burger. It's just like a A&W burger. They just serve you $25. Oh, this one is dirty. Which one did I use? This one was water. Okay, so this is how I clean my used stencil. Nice and clean. So now I'm finished. I am going to put it back to my book, and then ready to use for next time. So now I want to show you, see, this is my background. I think it's really pretty. They all looks different. If you found out it's too colorful, too jump, you just stamping few of like a shadow, darker color to soften it a little bit. Okay, so I want to show you, this black is the one I was talking about. I forgot, I didn't clean it right after I used the oxidized, and then see, it doesn't pick up the ink anymore. It's supposed to be like this, but if you touch it, you kind of feel kind of not smooth anymore. So because those pigment ink is dry on my sponge, so I won't be able to pick up a color anymore. So be very careful. And on the side, I didn't touch any those oxidized ink, right? So on the side, see, I can still pick up the ink, but on the top is no longer able to pick up the ink. So please be very careful if you want to use the oxidized ink, and especially I will share with you guys a few of the project that I was using the oxidized ink, and then now I have this problem. So just be very careful, make sure you clean it, otherwise, well, get one extra set just in case, right? Okay, so this is my glass board. I'm going to put it back, otherwise I'm going to forget about it and maybe lose it somewhere. Especially this is deadly dangerous for kids and dog, so be careful. You don't want to anybody accidentally eat it. Okay, so I'm going to clean my table a little bit, and I'm going to set up my color. Okay, so that's working on the background. You get idea, right? That's a really pretty background. And then if you find out too empty, you can do that. So this tree is free digital dye image. If you like it, just go to a website, click the free digital image category, and then you can download it. It's quite a few, and I have been I can see that a lot of you guys start to download it. If you download it and then you use the send me a mail or leave me a comment. Let me know what do you think. Do you like it and do you want to see more? Especially this tree I was mentioning in my last video. I can go this small tree. It's really well designed because the joint dot is as last as it necessary. So when you die cut, it's much smoother. And then some the digital die cut is different with the metal die cut is because different way. The metal die cut is a piece of metal, you like cookie cutter, you cut it, right? But the digital image difference is like the blade they have to go through. So the one of the great tip is that if you want to die cut something very detailed, don't try to set up your paper so thick. Try to use like a regular, like a cutting for like a regular paper, but repeat cut one or two times, so that way can avoid the tearing part. So give a try. I know a lot of people you don't have digital die cut machine. That's okay. It's just the idea. Use what you have and give a try. But if you ask me, I will highly recommend that if you can have one because digital is in the future. And then I have created a lot of image, and then you can just give it a try. And if you guys like it, I will keep coming more and more. There is a song with a small fee, 20-30 cents. Just give a try and let me know what you think about those digital file. Okay, so let's do the coloring part. And then like this one, I have where did my little, oh, this is the other car. It's so cute. And I find out the this Foxy head, you can kind of just change the direction. Like this one is the what? It's fun too. Just put on top and see. I think it's really, really pretty with this background, isn't it? Or with Mr. Dress Up. Okay. So, okay, let's do the coloring. So if you're into the alcohol coloring, feel free to continue to watching. If you are not into the alcohol marker coloring, I will see you in next video. So, or if you find that coloring is kind of boring, you just fast forward it. But that's pretty much about it, to show you guys that you can use your homemade digital image to create the stencil. You use both the positive and negative part. And remember, for the stencil, your digital image cannot be too complicated. Okay, so that's one thing. And then now we are going to working on the coloring part. Okay, so I already pre-stamped this image on the Canson watercolor cardstock, and then this watercolor paper is awesome. But the downside is that they are not very, very smooth surface. So when you stamp the detailed image, it really depends what would you like. So I think that's is good for me. It's good enough for me. So I just stamp a few. The best part is if you have a laser printer, what I will do is I will stamping with a good impact, and then just a few of them, and then I will photocopy it, so that way we don't have to worry about your outline will bleed or anything. So that's only if you have a laser printer. If you don't have a laser printer, you can just bring it to the Staples. I think they will stamp for you. I mean, they will photocopy for you. Okay, so that's do the coloring part. That's working on our puffy cheek, and then this puffy cheek, this he is standing on the oak, but since we are doing the maple leaf, right? So what did I do is I just stamp a few more, and then trimming it and put on top, so making look like he's on the maple tree. But who cares? It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to do the coloring part, and if you find out these parts are a little bit boring, you can just fast forward it. But some of you guys probably like to learn a little bit more about the coloring. Okay, so first, I use these Ohuhu. I love the name. Markers. And be honest with you, compare with a Copic marker, the quality is not as good as the Copic marker. I found that the Copic marker is a little bit better than these, but money wise, it does the job. So let's see the color. So I'm going to need a little bit gray. a little bit purple. And the blending one is white. I need a little bit. This one will do. I need a little bit more lighter. YG040. When you have too many choices, that's make it even more confused. Okay, I think this color is good. Okay, those are the few color I am going to use it. Okay, so here's what I do. I am going to working on my my puffy cheek first. So I like coloring and I don't like coloring. I do like these alcohol markers. The result is I like the color is like a very bright compared with other media, but I know some people they don't like to spend too much time to coloring, so it really depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I kind of use these colors YG040. I kind of just do a little bit highlight first. Okay, and then when I color them, I remember 10 years ago when I start to when the Copic marker just into the market, they have a sketcher, and I remember the instructor tell us you have to just keep like a circling like this. So and then slowly build up. But sometimes I found out it's just like too much. So when I color, I like to use my brush tip, kind of just brush it like this way to fill it out the gap. So that's the one, like see the way I color the ear everywhere. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit brown. Okay, just put a little bit here, a little bit on the head, a little bit on his arm. And I'm going to, oh sorry, this one is this color, YR5. I'm going to use my blending one, kind of just blending directly on top. I don't remember, did I use a memento to stamp the image or VersaFine? Because the VersaFine will bleed for sure. I like to use the alcohol marker to color, but I don't really like to spend too much time. Sometimes good, but not too much time unless I have nothing to do. Okay, good idea to add a little bit purple. Sometimes you just say purple. That's a weird color. No, you know the white part, we just add a little bit purple. And then brush. When you're blending it, you can like using a brush, or you can just draw a little circle. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to need a little bit light blue. Little bit. This is a little bit too much, but that's okay. Just give a little bit highlighting around his eye, and I'm going to use the blending, kind of make it that blue is not that much. Okay, so that's it. I think that's good enough. If you want to add a little bit more, oh, wrong side. Just one. That's good enough. Okay, so that's my squirrel part, and then on his hand, little hand, we can just give it a little bit color. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to working on the branch. So the branch, we can use even like a light green. Testing first. Well, this is actually not the light green. It's kind of dark green. These two colors. Ooh. Okay, just do a little bit green here. Okay, okay, for the leaf, okay, for this oak leaf, it really depends. If you don't want to add any maple leaf on top, I suggest you spend a little bit more time to color them, make it look better. But if you are planning to put the maple leaf on top, so no need to spend too much time to color those oak leaf. So I'm going to just do that. Does that make sense? Okay, and then because we have a matching die cut, right? We're going to die cut it. So when you color, if you accidentally, go a little bit off your like outline, is absolutely okay. So because we're going to do a die cut, we're going to cut it out, right? Okay, so just make sure we color all the branches here. Okay, and then let's take a look. I think the green one, the green branch, looks good. They are more pop out. But if you find it's too green, you use more brown then. Okay, let's see. Do we have a kind of... Yeah, so if you find out it's too green, we just add a little bit brown. Okay, and then for the leaves, it's like I say, it's really depend. What are you going to do? Do you want to put some maple leaf in the front, or you're going to just use these oak? So let's just do. Let's just do the oak. How's that? Because this one you guys already get an idea. So, but I'm gonna color one to share with you guys how I color. So I just do these, and I'm going to spend a little bit more time. You know these who marker set is they don't have a very nice orange color. I am like short of a few orange color, and also I found out this tip, few of my marker actually the tip is kind of go inside, so that's very easy to fix. You just remove this tip, this part, and poke them out. That's something that I don't have a problem with the cold pet not the COVID cold pet marker. Okay, so I do that, and I'm going to need a little bit darker orange. Okay, let's do. I'm not expert of the Copic markers, but this is how I call it. Okay, so you usually color one light color, and then you add a little bit darker color, and then you just using lighter color go back, blending it. I like them, but sometimes if you're in hurry, I don't like them, because sometimes I like it. I found out coloring they are relaxing, but if sometimes I'm in hurry or I don't have time, I found out that's kind of take a little bit too long to do it. So let's add a little bit pink color for my little squirrel. Oh, and his precious nuts here. Okay, so how do you think? Okay, and then one more thing is, if sometimes you accidentally make it in too dark, what you can do is you can use this white gel pen, kind of add a little bit white spot. Oh, white spot again, a little bit highlight, like on my nuts. pine cone. Is this a pine cone? Just some part like his toe, even like his I'm going to bring it to show you just some highlighted like here, even some dotting. Okay, so that's how I color my not Mr. is a little squirrel. Okay, and for the leaf, okay, I'm going to just show a quick color. We are going to, this is different way. So we're going to start from the middle, like a light color. Okay, just start from like for example, this circle, you start like this. So from the middle, kind of like just spray out one direction. One, okay, one, okay, and then orange. Okay, so I was from inside out, now I from outside in. Okay, outside in. Like I say, we have a matching die cut, so don't worry if you get a little bit color of the outside in. And then now we're going to use that light color again. We're going to try to blending one direction from inside out. Like this. And then we're going to use a little bit darker red. Okay, we're going to here have a tulip side. We want to one of the leaf kind of back up a little bit. So kind of do this. And you can use light orange or yellow kind of blending. Just like that. Or if you want to have a more, see how fast at coloring, let's do again from inside out. One direction, inside. Okay, and then orange, outside in. One direction. I know a lot of alcohol marker expert, they have their way to coloring. This is just the way I like it. We cannot say this is wrong way or right way. Any way work is a good way. So let's do again. You can see I'm not really neat person because some of them is actually off the line. Okay, so like do this, and then we're going to use the lighter one to blending like that. And then if you want to give a little bit highlight on your maple leaf, why not? You can do that too. Just give it some dotting here. You know, it does make difference because our stamp image have it's very detailed. It's not just for example, it's just not like a maple leaf. Okay, it's not just like a very simple line like that. You can see I add a lot of shading, so those shading is very helpful. That make your stamp image realistic. So just a very thin layer of coloring, it will make your stamp image looks awesome. So that's it. I'm going to die cut it. I will. Okay, so I have my scroll die cut it, and I have my maple leaf die cut it. Here is ready. And then just before we do something, I'm gonna just kind of give a little bit touch up on my cheekbone, just See, our die cut is already right next to the image. Imagine if your die cut have like that big white gap, how weird it's going to look like, right? So even though they still have that little tiny white gap between, so we just use or a sponge, just give a little bit touch around it, and that's our little guy here, and I think that's so pretty. Okay, and then it really depends on you. What do you think? I think the background is still a little bit too bright. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a little bit more leaf, kind of make my background a little bit back up. So I'm going to just stamp few. And then, like I say, this is watercolor paper. The surface is not very smooth. So, going to give few. One more. Okay, I'm going to clean my table first. Clean my stamps. Here is my card. Okay, here is my scroll. Kind of busy, but that's look exactly what the scroll look like. Okay, for my leaves, same thing. Going to use the purple color, brown, purple. They all work. Just try to make that little white gap a little bit back up. These, and then those little guy, we can use that or we can don't use it. Or we have the tree. The tree looks nice too, but I think a little bit too busy. What do you think? Okay, I think my background is a little bit too busy. I am going to fix it. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use my purple magic mushroom. I am going to gently soften my background because my puffy cheek is not standing up. So I'm going to just make a little bit darker on one side only. You can do purple, you can do brown. They all work. Or next time when you do your background stencil, try to use the stencil. Try to keep the center a little bit like a last image, so that way I think now my puffy cheek is more pop out, right? So, or next time when you use the stencil, you kind of just leave the center a little bit empty, so that way your puffy cheek is not going to lost between all the leaves. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, right? Okay, so let's do these. Very nice. Okay, and then we can just put a leaf anywhere you like. You can kind of cover that oak leaf if you find that's weird, right? Like these. I think like these. Okay, and if you want to put some here too, or some little leaf, let's do that. Hoping you are not tired of my autumn project. I think I've been using this autumn set way too many times. Okay, let's do that. But I just want to, share with you a good stamp set that's you can use for too many different kind of project. Everybody will come up with their own idea, right? So this one have a one nice leaf on his head. Very, very colorful. And then I'm going to mount on the here. And then I'm going to put the tape and find a nice sentiment. And then that's a beautiful car. Okay. And then see, even with my this table. Okay, so I can have my little fox here say hi. Okay, so even though like these dice cut tree, you put just one leaf. See how cute it is, right? Okay, so that's about it. I think I have done quite enough fall project already. I'm going to move on to something else now. I think the next one will be the Christmas project. So it's almost the end of October. How about you guys? Have you started your Christmas project yet? Okay, so look at this one. I'm going to use this one, and I have another fox here, and then that can make a very, very circle card just like that. Okay, so I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about today's project, and have you learned something from these videos? Do you enjoy all the videos that I have created for you? Do you... Oh, I found a mushroom here. How about change the nuts to mushroom? Have a different kind of poison mushroom here. Yeah, so, and have you tried those digital die cut, and do you like it, enjoy it? Do you have any issue? I would love to hear from you guys. This channel have no commercial, and so I'm doing my best to share all awesome idea with you guys. So if you guys did download those digital image, all you can help me is just leave a review and let other people know, or you can post your project under the local Kings Facebook page, or you can send me an email and attach your project, and I will post it online. So that way we can share with other people what do you do with or stamp die cut and the digital image, and of course our magic mushroom. So let us know, and I will be very, very happy to hear from you guys. Okay, so that's everything for today, and I hope you enjoy this video. This is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.